Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. We're here in Chang International Circuit in Thailand for round 17 of our Moto2 World Championship. So here we are in the Chang International Circuit. I must say I quite like this track, and of course we have the racing line on due to the development test that is already pre-enabled, which I really wish we could turn off sometimes because I really don't like the racing line as we have to take evasive action from Hafiz Siren there. And I'll just gently turn it to the left hand side there for turn 2 and then hard on the brakes for turn 3. Now this track is quite wonderful in its own way. There's a lot of fast sections. Of course you do have the 2 long straights, which I think we are going to struggle on within a certain degree, but for the rest of the track I do feel we're going to be rather strong, especially in the tighter and twistier sections of this Thailand GP. But onto the left hand side we go for turn 4, lovely entry going into turn 4 actually, now we're hard on the brakes for the 5th corner. Now onto the left hand side, 0.2 of a second up to Augusto Fernandez's time of a 1:36.634. What can Grant do already on this first lap? If we can be looking already into the top 5, top 10 positions in free practice, and I think we're going to be having a damn decent qualifying session, but we went a little bit wide there and just probably compromised a bit of time. We did in the sense of personal best time. It's now only a 10.5 for Grant. Not quite up in the sectors, but it's quite alright as long as you can get the orange or close enough to the red sectors. You can have a damn decent lap nonetheless and still get in there in the top 3 positions potentially, but hard on the brakes once more. Onto the right hand side for turn 12, running a little bit deep there. Oh, and a little bit of a snap on the acceleration. That was a bit too eager, but across the line we go, only 69,000 of a second behind Augusto Fernandez this time. The Elfmark VDS rider at the top of the timing screens right now still remains in that position, but Grant was very, very close. Fabio Di Gianantonio to the left of us there. Thankfully he didn't really impede our progress. Sometimes I find in this game that they do tend to just fling out of the pits and try and bump into you for some strange reason. I do find that the AI sometimes is programmed to a certain part of the track and will only stay to that no matter what, even if you're around or near them. I must say there's a annoying thing on MotoGP 21 that I'm really not a fan of, and that is the way that if you are going slow, let's say for example someone's following you, you want to remove them from following you, circa Maverick Vinales, hashtag Marc Marquez, the AI will just slow down to a complete standstill and just try and wait for you to move. And it's really not ideal because sometimes they crash due to this slowing down. I'm not going to show you now because we're on a very decent lap. Actually, we're about 0.4 of a second quicker than our previous lap time. So this could be enough to automatically put us through into the top qualifying positions. But onto the right hand side we go for turn 9. Hector Garçon's just ahead of us. I don't think he's going to impede our progress. Unless he just suddenly decides, you know what, I'm going to just stop right in the middle of the track. I don't think we really need to concern ourselves right now about Garçon. But here we go, going into the final corner. Turn 12 is beckoning the Moto3 World Champion and, of course, the Moto2 Championship leader. And across the line we go. We are up now by 0.6 of a second. So looking at the timing screens, we lead the way with the 1:36.039. Sam Lowes and Remy Gardner not too far behind, both of them just 1/10 behind, or less than 1/10 right now. So those are the 4 riders who will be joining us in qualifying 2, battling out for the top qualifying position, the pole position, if you will. Ayagora, Xavi Vierge, Augusto Fernandez and Lorenzo Baldassari. So here we go, qualifying time. Agora leads the way now with a 1:36.691, but I don't think that will be the pole position time here today. Of course, the temperature is very much the same that we just had in the practice session a moment ago. So now it's a time to have no training wheels on, so no racing guide, because of course the racing guide is only on due to that predetermined sort of development test, which I've said many, many times before. I do not like the racing line, so I'm glad that's turned off. So we should see the lap times improve. I tend to see it come up and then I try and beat the racing line or try and brake later than the braking. I don't like the racing line. I must say as well, guys, sorry about my voice in this one as well. I'm a little bit croaky today. I think too much recording and just not feeling too grand today. But I'm okay. It's just that the throat is taking a bit of a hounding with all these videos. But for now, it's quite alright. as we now go onto the left-hand side for turn 6. Allergies still intact. And turn 7, ooh, a little bit too tight to the apex there, just touching the rumble strip, just throwing us away a little bit. Not ideal, but we're still on it, very, very much so. Hashtag Sam Lowe's, hashtag on it, as it says on his shark helmet. Ooh, 6,000th of a second to Ayagura's time. You better believe, though, in this final sector, we can produce a miracle and potentially take pole position, or at least provisional pole position for the time being. Hard on the brakes, hard on the anchors for turn 12. Little bit wide, but that's actually a pretty decent entry. It looks like we're going to go wide, but across the line we go. It's top position with a 136.237. So let's now do it once more, as Marco Bezzecchi sits pretty at the top with a 135.338. Certainly has changed since we last went to the pits and changed the tyres. Provisional front row with Bezzecchi, Sam Lowe's and Marcel Schrotter. Good to see Celestino Vietti up there in the top 5 positions, or at least he was in the top 5 positions. He's now put to top 6 positions, which still not so bad for the Sky VR46 Racing Italian rider. Now we're currently in 8th place, but we're looking roughly at the same lap time from the previous one, since we didn't really improve in that first sector. If there's going to be any improvements, it's going to have to be through this twisting section. So into turn 4 we go. Onto the left-hand side, we ran a little bit deep, and it looks like that was about to end in tears, that particular lap, as we were going to touch the outside of the track, potentially on the green. But we're up again into our personal best sectors. Well, look at Marco Bezzecchi in the top left-hand corner of your screen there. He is on 3 red sectors, so this lap time of a 135.338 could certainly be a thing of the past, and he could be improving it once more. But on the right hand side we go for turn 8, a much better entry there for Grant. As we go on the right hand side for turn 9, 0.4 of a second down to Marco Bezzecchi's time. Bezzecchi is still yet to cross the line, so we aren't going to see an improvement until he does, of course, with Augusto Fernandez finally putting himself back up into the top 3 positions. Odd to see him in qualifying 1, wasn't it? But Bezzecchi is, I don't know where he is. Has he finished? Has he crossed the line? Yeah, I have no idea. But if for some reason he didn't improve, Grant goes across the line, improves, but it's still the 4th row, and the 4th row isn't certainly going to help us in a track like this, because especially going into turn 1, which is a very, very tight and difficult turn 1, there's no way we're going to be able to get into the top positions if we're qualifying so poorly. Hello to Jake Dixon behind us there onto the left-hand side of the screen. Bezzecchi's still at the top, but he hasn't improved, of course, as he's just seen a moment ago. Augusto Fernandez is still in 3rd place, but there has been a crasher, and not sure what point of the track that's going to be, and I hope it doesn't impede our progress. Of course, in the video game format, it doesn't actually impede the lap in the sense of you go past any yellow yellow flags, you don't have to change your lap. But for the time being, we are up by 0.3 of a second compared to our personal best. Onto the left-hand side we go. That is a wonderful entry into turn 4, riding the rumble strip just a little bit as we now brake early for turn 5, up by 3.3 of a second. Beautiful, as Marcel Schrotter has just crashed. That isn't quite beautiful. Sorry to Schrotter on that one, the Dynavolt intact team. And of course, now going underneath the Singar sign, onto the right-hand side we go for turn 8. Another nice entry going into that particular right-hander as we chuck it into the right-hand side of the tyre once more for turn 9, up by 1.5. So we did lose 0.2, but it's still okay as we go on the left-hand side for turn 10. Flick it to the right for turn 11. Looks like Canet decided at the last second he wanted to go to the pits. At least he moved out of our way. Hard on the brakes now, dropping the right boot onto the floor. Turn 12 to be navigated, very tight apex, and across the line we will go. Is this enough for Grant to take pole position? You betcha. So pole position goes the way of Grant on an absolute charge at the minute. Qualifying is certainly in the bag once again for the British rider. Marco Bezzecchi and Marcel Schrotter will join him on the front row, and Remy Gardner, our second championship protagonist, down in 7th. So guys, as always, thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed. I will see you tonight at 8 PM for the Grand Prix, so don't miss it. Like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload. And upon that note, guys, I will see you tonight at 8 PM. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Race video.